Good morning, children. Welcome back. Hope you all are doing well. In the previous class, we were discussing about the circumstances that prevailed in India which gave birth to the growth of new religions. And before that, we have studied about the literary evidences that shed light to the development of two new religions. In this class, we will study about Jainism. It is believed that Jainism was founded by Vardhamana Mahavira. Actually, Vardhamana Mahavira was not the real founder of Jainism. Before him, there were 23 great teachers, and those teachers were called as Tirthankaras. Rishabhadev was the first Tirthankara, and the 23rd Tirthankara was Parshvanath. Mahavira was the last or the 24th Tirthankara. Actually, Mahavira summarized the teachings of the earlier Tirthankaras and gave a specific form of a new religion. That is why he was considered as the founder of Jainism. Mahavira was born in 6th century BC at Kundalagram near Vaishali in Bihar. His father belonged to a Kshatriya tribe and his mother Trishala was a princess of Licchavi tribe. Even at the very younger age, he showed extreme courage. So, he was called as Mahavira. After his birth, his father's kingdom began to be flourished, and so he was given the name Vardhamana or prospering. Thus, Vardhamana Mahavira has got his name because of these two reasons. When he was a small child, he absorbed a lot in spiritual deeds. Being a prince, he was supposed to indulge in the worldly affairs by looking after his kingdom, by taking care of his subjects. But Mahavira was not that much interested in the worldly affairs. He was more involved in spiritual matters. Even while a child, he was married to Yashoda because his parents were really worried that he may become an ascetic or he may become a sadhu. In order to prevent him from becoming a sadhu, they got him married to Yashoda. When he was around 30 years old, his parents died. After the death of his parents, it was very difficult for him to concentrate in the matters of administration. So, he left all the pleasures, all the luxuries of a king and began to wander. And finally, he got the Kevala. Ever since, he was started to be called as Jina or the conqueror. And his followers began to be called as Jains. After conquering all the desires of the world, Mahavira came to be known as Jina. And he gave his first sermon at Mount Vipul at Rajagriha. This Rajagriha was the capital of Magadha. Then from there, from Rajagriha, he preached at different places. Anga, Magadha, Kosala. These all are the places where Lord Mahavira preached his new ideas or his new teachings. Lord Mahavira attained salvation at the age of 72, and by his time of his death, he was able to collect nearly 14,000 people as his followers. At the age of 72, Mahavira died at Pava in Bihar. Let us see the main teachings of Jainism. Since it was originated as a challenge to the existing Hinduism, Vardhamana did not give any importance to the authority of Vedas. Vedas was one of the founding stones of Hinduism. All the rules and regulations and everything is mentioned there in Vedas. But Mahavira did not give any importance to the authority of Vedas. Then he asked his followers that they have to take 5 vows, and these 5 vows are the most important teachings or guidelines of Jainism. These 5 vows include ahimsa or non-violence, asateya or not stealing, satya or not telling lies, aparigraha or not possessing any property, and brahmacharya or maintaining celibacy. It is said that already there existed 4 vows and Mahavira added the 5th one. In addition to the 5 vows, the Jains were supposed to follow 9 principles or 9 truths. Let us examine the doctrines of Jainism. Jainism give a lot of importance to 3 ratnas: right faith, right knowledge, and right conduct are the 3 principles or the 3 ratnas or 3 jewels of Jainism. These 3 jewels or 3 ratnas inspire a Jain to have faith in 24 Tirthankaras and doing a good life and ultimately attain salvation. Karma is another important doctrine of Jainism. Actually, karma is a doctrine which can be originally found in Hinduism. The Jains too follow the principles of karma. That means if you do good, you will get good result. If you do something bad, the results also will be bad. This is the principle of karma. Vardhamana Mahavira taught about the principle of karma too. Mahavira gave a lot of importance to equality. Earlier during the early Vedic period and later Vedic period, there existed caste system. The society was divided into 4 castes. Mahavira did not give any such distinction. He considered all people as equal. Thus, equality was one of the most important features of Jainism. He said that the soul was immortal. Mahavira believed in the immortality of soul. Only the body perishes after the death, but the soul will live forever. That is said by the immortality of soul. Mahavira preached that the ultimate aim of a person's life is to attain salvation or nirvana or moksha. The same teaching can be found in Hinduism too. Mahavira advocated that if a person follow the three ratnas, if he led an austere life, it is possible for him to attain salvation. Jains believe in penance. They consider doing penance is a way to purify one's soul and can attain salvation. So, severe penance, including dying of starvation, called Sandara, was asked to practice by the people. Since the penance was so severe, so extreme, it was very difficult for general people to practice. That was the reason why Jainism has got a very few followers in the beginning. Let us see about the spreading of Jainism. Mahavira got the royal patronage. A large number of kings became the followers of Jainism. Because of the support of these kings, Jainism began to spread in different parts. The Jain Munis or Sadhus, they preach in local dialect or the language of ordinary people. When we see about the Vedic Hinduism, we learned that the writings were there in Sanskrit. It was not the language of ordinary people. Only the learned people were able to understand Sanskrit. Whereas the teachings of Jain saints were there in local dialects. So it was very easy for ordinary people to understand it. There were many great saints like Kalkacharya and Bhadrabahu. Kalkacharya was a great saint who lived at our place in Ujjain. Bhadrabahu was a saint who spread Jainism in Karnataka. So these great saints helped a lot for the spreading of Jainism in different parts of the country. The religion was very much liked by the people because of its doctrines. It was a very simple religion. There was no difficult or complicated rites or rituals or ceremonies. Even the presence of a priest was not there to complete the religious, to perform the religious ceremonies. Then they asked the people to lead a very simple life. This all attracted people in large number towards the religion. Not only that, the importance given to ahimsa, then the absence of a caste system, this all attracted or this all caused a large number of people to become the followers of Mahavira. As the time advanced, there emerged indifferences in the religion. This indifferences was mainly caused by two great saints, Bhadrabahu and Stulabhadra. Bhadrabahu was a Jain saint who centered in Karnataka, whereas Stulabhadra was a saint who centered his activities in Magadha. The indifferences between these two saints became the cause behind the division in Jainism. In the first Jain council, which was held around 300 BC, these indifferences surfaced and it became inevitable for the religion to split. Thus, the Jainism splitted into two sections. It was, and these two sections were Shvedambaras and Digambaras. Shvedambaras were the followers of Stulabhadra, and they wore white cloth. So, from the color of their cloth, the followers of Stulabhadra came to be known as Shvedambaras. On the other hand, the followers of Bhadrabahu came to be known as Digambaras. They considered digs or the directions as their cloth. So literally they were naked. So these two groups, Shvedambaras and Digambaras, were the divisions of Jainism. Shvedambaras wore white cloth, whereas Digambaras moved around as naked. Digambaras were more orthodox in their nature. They believed that if they wear cloth, they are supposed to wash clothes, and while washing clothes, there may be many minute organisms that may be there on the cloth may get killed. So, in order to avoid even that minute harm that could be done to a living thing, they opted for not wearing any cloth. Let us discuss about the impact of Jainism. In the political field, when the kings became the followers of Jainism, they lost their warlike qualities because the religion gave a lot of importance to ahimsa. You know, a soldier or a kshatriya, it is impossible not to hurt while waging a war, while fighting a war. But when the kings became the followers of Jainism, they naturally stick to the principles of ahimsa, which ultimately affected their war skills or fighting skills. As a result, it was not possible for them to expand their empire. It was not possible for the Jains to create significantly powerful empires. Let us see the social and religious impact. Already we have seen that Jainism rejected caste system. It believed in equality, and so people belong to the lower caste. They adopted the new religion in large number. In the field of language and literature, Jains had given remarkable contribution. Already we have seen that the Jain monks, they preached in local language and dialects. As a result, the regional languages or the local languages developed. Mahapurana, which was composed by Jinasena, Kalpasutra, which was composed by Bhadrabahu, and Ratnamaliga, which was composed by Amoghavarsha, are examples of classic literature made by Jain monks. In the field of art and architecture too, the Jains had given great contributions. They made beautiful temples and monasteries. The best example of Jain architecture is the Dilwara temple at Mount Abu in Rajasthan. Then, down to the south, there was another marvelous example of Jain architecture. It was the statue of Bahubali or Gomadeshwara. The most important pilgrim center of Jains is Palitana in Gujarat. It has a beautiful collection of more than 800 temples which were constructed by the Jains. Let us discuss the reasons behind the decline of Jainism. You know, Jainism was originally born in India, yet it did not get much influence in India. That was mainly because of various reasons. One of the most important reasons behind the decline of Jainism is that it was a very difficult religion to follow. The practices, the severe austerity, and the concept of ahimsa and all made it almost impossible for the ordinary people to follow. The severity of austerity kept them away from becoming the members of the religion. Another important reason was that in the initial years, Jainism had got a lot of royal support. But as the time advanced, the royal patronage began to become lesser and lesser. It is not possible for any religion to flourish without the royal patronage. The religion was not spread to any foreign countries, unlike Buddhism, which was spread in Japan, China, Sri Lanka and all. Jainism was limited within the boundaries of India. Missionary activities were very limited in Jainism. It was another reason that caused the decline of Jainism. Though Jainism preached about equality, though it was against the caste system, the inequality really existed. There was a great difference between the rich and the poor, or the high and the low. The religion could do nothing to eliminate these indifferences that existed in the society. During the Gupta period, Hinduism had a revival, it had a coming back. As a result, the religion was purified. A large number of evil practices that were existing in the religion were wiped out, and Hinduism had got a new face. So, a very large number of people who denounced Hinduism and converted into Jainism had a return. Many of them returned to Hinduism. This all caused the religion to lose its popularity and its public base. So far, we have discussed about the origin of Jainism. We discussed about Vardhamana Mahavira, his early years, his attaining of salvation, the important teachings of Mahavira, the doctrines of Jainism, then the impact of Jainism in the society, and the causes behind its popularity as well as the reasons behind its decline. Hope these topics are clear to you. If you have any doubt on any topic which was discussed today, you are free to contact. I am ready to help you at any time. It's enough for today. Thank you.